Hi folks, I'm Nate with Two Guys a Ride. Today I'm here in beautiful Brainerd, Minnesota. I'm here at Tracker Boating Center and I'm here with my good friend Chris. Chris, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for coming out.
Man, all right, so today we have a really neat boat to look at. You know, sometimes we look at high-end price boats, and today we're going to take a look at a one that hits a little lower on the pocketbook.
It is,
but it's a great boat. So, what do we have here?
We have in front of us a Tahoe T16.
Today we're working with our friends at the Tracker Boating Center in Brainerd, Minnesota.
So let's talk about some of the features here and then we'll move along the side. But
Sure.
Navigation lights up here?
Yep, front navigation lights built in, so you don't have to worry about reaching up front with a rod.
And put them on, which you do sometimes on smaller boats.
You do, yep.
So that's nice, it's built in. Does a trailer come with it?
Yes, this is packaged with a trailer.
This is a package with a trailer.
Correct.
Okay, and I like the swing away tongue.
Very nice,
That's
because
just
if you have
space-saving.
limited space in a garage somewhere, and that'll gain you about 3 to 4 feet getting it into a smaller garage.
Okay, you do have some cleats on the side here.
Yep, we have cleats for either tying off, say to a dock, or if you want to tie your boat buoys on the side to protect them.
Yeah, and it's nice. They don't need to be recessed in this case because they're off on the side. They're not up where your feet are going to go.
Correct.
This is not a jumping platform.
It is not.
All right, so let's take a look down the side.
Sure.
Okay, so moving on down the side here.
Sure.
I noticed this chromed vent.
Little vent. Yeah, that vent is actually just a port for the horn.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
I do like the graphics.
Oh, the graphics I think on this boat are really, really nice. It is an upgrade. So it is what's called our Kiwi in black and white decal.
Okay.
Very sharp.
Very sharp. Yep. All right, and then moving back a little bit further here, of course, you do have a bimini top.
Yep, this comes with a bimini top, which really nice to have on them hot days. Keep that sun off you a little bit.
Yes. So then down here, you, of course, got bilge pump.
Correct. That's our bilge pump.
Okay.
Correct.
And then up back here now, this is all fiberglass.
Yep.
This whole deck area is, but you've got non-skid, like a flooring.
Right. They put a nice little molded texture into this, so when you do get water on it, it gives you a little bit of abrasiveness, so you don't slip off of it.
Okay.
And a nice telescoping 4-step ladder as well.
Okay.
So this just pulls right out, and you can take the bungee off of it, and it just telescopes right down.
Well, nice and long.
Nice and long.
All right. So now underneath here, you've got, that would just be a drain plug.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, drain plug. And you do have a little bit of an extension off the transom for the boat motor as well.
Okay. And then you have this. What is this?
Yeah, that's called a turbo swing. So in place of somebody just hooking up to the tie hoops, this is a very effective way and really the only way to pull somebody, whether you're skiing, tubing, or wakeboarding.
Okay.
Yeah.
It does have a 4-blade prop on there.
Correct. Yep, the four-blade prop on the 75 horse Merc gives it a great hole shot, which helps for when you are skiing or tubing or wakeboarding. It gets a person out of the hole real quick.
Right away.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then tell us a little bit about the motor.
It's a 75 horse. That's maximum for this boat. You can it comes with 75 or 60. I recommend the 75 in case you do change your mind, down the road on pulling tubers or skiers. Plus, it also is the most, I think, economical size motor for this boat.
So with the turbo swing, that is part of the package for the price on this boat.
Yes, correct. For the package price on this boat, it is an additional add-on.
Right,
correct.
It does not come with the boat.
No.
You guys have added it, and it's included in the price.
Correct. Most people that buy these boats from us do want this
these are really
turbo
nice.
swing. What's nice is you can take this thing on or off within seconds. It just pop a
clip right here.
The clip on the bottom
sides.
and pull it right off.
Pulls right back and out.
Yep.
Which is really nice.
Very nice.
All right. What is this?
That gives you access back down to the bilge if you need to have access to that or clean that out.
Okay. And then you got, I'm assuming, a tilt and trim on the motor.
Tilt and trim on the back of the motor is really nice for when you're trailering, because you do, at most boat landings, you have to drain all the water out of the motor, so it's nice to have that accessibility
right there,
to trim.
while you're standing here.
Correct.
What about this?
That is, in the manual, they call that the saltwater flush. So if you were to bring it anywhere that has salt water, after you're done in the water for the day, you can hook your garden hose up to it and flush it out. But in our circumstance here, I kind of call that the mucky water flush, because in our situation here in Minnesota, you might run into something where you suck up some mud or muck through the water intake, and you might not be spraying water like you should.
Right.
So you want to bring that back home, hook your garden hose up to it, and kind of back flush a lot of the dirt and debris out of the motor.
So when it goes in here, does it come out?
Correct.
Here? Okay.
It does come out your intake and through the prop as well.
Okay. I like that.
It is nice. It's a nice
Just
feature.
Another easy maintenance deal to help your engine stay running good.
Exactly.
Huh. I like it.
Yep.
Okay. Down here you do have.
That is the transducer for the depth finder that's on here.
Steering linkage is hydraulic.
On this one, we do have the C-Star hydraulic steering on this boat.
Okay.
And again, that actually is an extra feature.
Okay.
We find running the 75 horse, it's nice to have that hydraulic steering.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, very nice.
Up in the front here, of course, it's just all fiberglass.
Yeah, it's all
Flooring
fiberglass
and everything.
with textured flooring. Again, just like the back of the boat that you saw.
Yep.
They put a texture to it, so when it does get wet, you don't slip all over.
Right, which is nice. I mean, but it's nice to build in because, boats used to have a lot of carpeting in them. They said this is so much easier to clean.
Very easy to clean. Just a wet rag. Really, you just wipe it down. It's pretty easy.
Now, you do have some storage up here. The long seats right here, they lift up, and you've got some storage underneath them.
Correct. Yeah, they have both sides. You lift them up, nice ample amount of storage, and they do have drain plugs inside of them. So if you were to want to use one as a cooler, you could throw some ice in it, plug the hole, and just throw your beverages on some ice.
Okay. And these smaller cushions are fixed in place.
Those are fixed.
Okay.
Correct.
And then you do have a step right there.
Yep. We have
I'm
one
assuming
step
that's
in
a
the
step,
front.
not really a seat.
Right. Yeah. You would want to use that as a
Case
step
we
coming
can
in
see.
out of the boat.
Okay. All right. Now, on the floor right here, we do have some more storage.
We do. We have underhull storage. So if you open that up, it has our paddle. So in case there was an emergency situation, you would need a paddle. And then we also store the back light, navigation light underneath there as well.
Okay. Now, this seat is kind of unique.
It is. It's
Right
nice.
now, it's set up for me
Nice
to lounge
backrest.
this way.
Mm-hmm.
So what else can you do with it?
You can actually pull that out, lift it up, and when you're having doing skiing or water sports, you can flip that around for your spotter. So as you're turning that around, now you have a nice backrest for the spotter.
Oh, okay. So now, yeah. And, the thing I noticed about this was that just after pointing a lot of skiers, my spotter is always behind me.
Right.
And this one is in front of the driver. So you're actually making eye contact with the driver, which is just a whole lot safer because sometimes you can't hear.
Correct. The driver can concentrate on looking forward of the boat, navigating where he's going in the water, pulling the skier tuber, and you have your spotter there giving him the signals accordingly.
All right. So moving on back to the sort of the back part of the boat, you do have, between the two areas, you do have a stereo unit.
Yeah, we got a nice little stereo there. It's Bluetooth compatible, for a lot of people that run different music applications on their phone.
And it is a Kicker brand.
Correct.
Is what that is. Well, Chris, I like it how you left the driver's side for me.
Hey, you know what? I thought I'd put you in the captain's seat.
Yeah, speaking of which, I was actually fairly impressed with this. Now, do you know what size? It's a flat screen.
I believe that's a 6-inch display on there. Yeah, that's nice. That's one of the improvements on the 2023 model.
Okay, so that runs all your gauges.
Yeah, shows you everything.
Your fish finder, your everything.
Well, depth finder. Yeah.
Depth finder.
Depth finder. Your RPMs, your speedometer, and Just a few other functions.
Okay. So it doesn't necessarily, it connects to the motor, but not as detailed as we see on some, like the fishing boats. Oh my gosh, you can sit here and trim the tabs. You can do.
Right. It doesn't have quite it shows you trim and tilt.
Okay.
But does not have a lot of the other extra features on it.
All right. But still nice to have a flat screen display. That was a surprise.
It's nice. It gives it a nice look.
So, and then now in addition to that, you've got 2 storage areas.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice spot to put your cell phone. You also have an auxiliary plug for if you wanted to hook that up for a stereo system. Yeah.
Or plug straight into the system if you don't want to use Bluetooth.
Correct. You know, kind of the old school.
Yeah. 1/8-inch jack.
iPods and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. And then
you have a 12-volt plug-in as well.
Okay. I do like the smoke windshield.
That smoke windshield does give it a nice touch. It's very nice.
I like that. Okay. Now, on the steering wheel, you have a button on the very top. It's not a button. It's actually a screw.
Correct. Actually, that's a fill hole for the C-Star hydraulic steering.
Okay. Very easy to get off. Very easy to put on.
Correct.
Okay. So you got a regular key start.
Yep.
You've got nav and anchor.
Yep. That's your lights.
Bilge. And then you have an accessory. So is that to add something there?
Yeah, it's just an auxiliary switch
So
if you wanted to add
some type of lighting or whatever.
Correct.
You got the horn button, and then you got all the fuses.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, standard throttle trim button that everyone's used to.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So there is quite a bit of storage back here.
There is. There's nice storage under all 3 of these seats. One has it's almost like set up for a small little cooler. So it has some drain holes in it, so you could throw
ice in there and
a couple of bottles of water. Yep.
Grape juice, of course.
Absolutely, just grape juice or orange juice.
And
this
then
flips down for a step as well. So
and it's got the nice cover on it for stepping.
Correct, so you don't get your shoes.
Okay, and then of course you got the non-skid step part right here that's in the fiberglass molding.
Molded right into the boat as well. Yep.
Now, underneath the driver's seat, there is another fairly good-sized storage area.
More storage, I always recommend, having a little container that would have maybe your boat registration, and if you were to decide to maybe do some fishing, keep your fishing license in there.
Right, because there isn't a cubby hole, like that you see on other bigger boats.
Right.
So you got these pockets, but you wouldn't want anything blowing.
Right. That's where the storage underneath the seats come in.
Storage underneath the passenger seat. Now, is there storage under this seat right
this
here?
one's just a flip-up hard seat.
Okay,
right
but
there.
if you didn't want that there for some reason, you could just flip it up and
just take it right off.
have it. It's got the non-skid surface on it, so you can use it as a stepping point.
Yeah, so if you are stepping in actually from the side, from the dock, if you could flip that up and step on that.
That's nice because otherwise it's kind of a deep. When you get into it, it's kind of deep.
It is deep. Yep, for a small boat, it's very comfortable.
I like all the grab handles you've got.
They are, especially on my side. So on my side, you have one for sitting where I'm at, and then 2, if you are the spotter, sitting on the other side looking backwards, you also have a grab handle there as well.
And then up front, you got one grab handle on each side.
On each side, yeah, that's nice.
Now, I also noticed the sheer number of cup holders in here. I think if you count it, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's at least 7. No, 8, 9, because they're in the back as well.
You just can't have enough cup holders.
Yes, you can't.
No.
And the nice thing is you got some cushion area back here.
You do. So if you're floating around on the lake, you're out in the middle of the lake and you just want to do a little swimming with the family or friends, you do have some nice sitting area, or you want to lay down and catch a little sun.
Then you can just do that right there.
Right.
Which is just nice. It's nice to have that space.
Yep.
I know my girls would be up there.
Oh, yeah.
Pushing each other off, of course.
Yeah. Nice bimini top as well. So that bimini top we have down in down position right now, but you can flip that up, and so people like me would like to stay in the shade compared to in the sun. So.
Yes. And so that pretty much covers, driver's area. How far back does that top go?
Covers just to the back of the driver's seat.
Just the back here. So,
yeah.
Okay, but this group right here.
Correct.
And that's cool. You think about it, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 people easily.
That could be under the shade.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk availability. So if I want to come here and buy this.
Yeah, let's hook it up right now.
Okay. It's for
No,
sale right now.
yeah, typically availability, we do have a couple of these. You know, we have usually keep them in stock. So now that 2024 models are starting to roll off the line here in probably another few weeks, some of these models have inflation buster offers right now.
Okay.
So there is some discounted dollars on this boat.
Okay. Now, roughly, where is this boat priced at with the equipment on there? Is it in the 40s? Is it in the 30s?
No, with actually the way this boat sits, you're looking at right around the 28 mark, 28,000.
Wow.
That's with our shipping and handling. You would have probably a little bit of taxes added to that.
You know, that's really good. I mean, you keep in mind, you're getting a fiberglass boat.
Right. Handles awesome in the water. Fiberglass typically it will handle a lot more stable
Right.
than you would an aluminum boat. Yeah.
Man. And then you get all the, that space for guests. You got the ability to ski or tube with your kids. You got modern driver's information screen up here.
Yeah. Very nice.
That's just awesome. Now, the steering wheel does not tilt, right?
Nope. That's a fixed steering
Okay,
wheel.
that is a fixed steering wheel.
Correct.
What kind of warranties does Tahoe offer?
Tahoe has a 5-year warranty on this boat.
Okay, it
So-
just covers everything.
Yep, except for the motor. The motor has a 3-year
Right,
motor
motors are
on there.
separate, electronic.
Correct.
Now, typically electronics are separate because they're covered by their own manufacturer.
Right. No,
Is this-
that's part of. We'll
that's
cover
part
that
of
as
it.
well.
Okay, so that is made
Yep.
by Tahoe.
Right.
That is really neat. Well, Chris, I appreciate you taking your time on this. This is a really neat boat. If you're in the market for something, you want a fiberglass boat, but you don't want something that you have to, have a large SUV to tow it with.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great little runabout.
It is a fun little boat.
This is a neat boat. All right. So with that, Chris, thanks for spending your time with us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Sure appreciate it.
Welcome.
And thanks for watching.